action tonight. Pac-12 and SEC. Number 5 Washington and number 22 LSU both coming off of wins already today at the St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational presented by Wilson. Another gorgeous night in the Bay Area as we get set for this top 25 tussle. Washington coming in undefeated on the season, an impressive win already today over Tennessee. And just a few moments ago, LSU able to get the run rule win over Oklahoma State. As we welcome you back up into the press box, Beth Moens, Michelle Smith, Amanda Scarborough. Should be a dandy. We get a chance to see a couple of teams that should be competing for spots at the World Series this year.
Yeah, I think that this is just a stacked lineup that we have today, tomorrow. But LSU looked really strong last game. They struggled last weekend. So if they could carry the momentum that they got last game into this game, it'll be a good one.
And it is always about momentum. It's about getting some of your younger athletes pressure situations, and no better tournament than to do it here.
All right, how about we take a look at our impact players brought to you tonight by Visit St. Pete Clearwater, and it's Bailey Klingler and Shelby Sinceri both showing off their power today.
Well, Klingler's just been outstanding at the top of the lineup for Washington. A really good leader, a couple of home runs earlier, 3 RBIs. Look for her to put a charge into the ball.
And Shelby Sinceri over on the LSU side, she can pitch it a little bit too, of course. 4 home runs, 12 RBI for Sinceri, and just hit a 3-run home run and that win earlier, that run rule win against Oklahoma State before this game.
And in the circle for the Tigers tonight, getting the call is Shelby Wickersham,
leading off for the
junior right-hander
and playing left field
out of Metairie, Louisiana.
Sammy Reynolds.
Sammy Reynolds to lead things off. The top 2 in the lineup in that big win today over Tennessee, Reynolds and Klingler. Hit 3 home runs, drove in 6, scored 6 times, and then you've got the outstanding freshman Olivia Johnson right there, the designated player tonight in the 3 spot. Burst onto the scene last week and was named the National Player of the Week after a terrific debut performance.
Burst, explodes, any of those words to describe how outstanding she has been as just a freshman. That's the thing I've been impressed with, is so many of these young athletes just coming in. They're playing like upperclassmen here early.
Yeah, so many freshmen, not just at this tournament, but all across the country, making a big splash.
Sammy hit a home run in that game earlier. One of the seniors in this lineup, 2 times named to the All Pac-12 team. And she'll find a gap. Out in right center, motoring around to second base. And the leadoff aboard for Washington and already in scoring position.
Sammy Reynolds loves the inside corner. She gets a pitch that is out over the plate, didn't find any corner at all, but I just feel like she has so much power in the inner half, whether it's up on her hands or down, where she's able to go and get her barrel down to it. She is so much fun to watch play this game because she's small in stature but packs a big punch. It's already her 6th double this season, you guys.
Yeah, 588 average, leadoff spot, 2 home runs, slugging percentage over 1,200. How about that for a leadoff?
Well, this could be a very dangerous lineup. Of course, Gabby Plain is the ace of their staff. And early in the season, looking for how the rest of the staff will play out. But they know that they have some pop in the bat with Bailey Klingler showing that off today.
A couple of home runs in this game off of Tennessee. Look at the way this ball is just leaving the yard. Opposite field, she lets that ball travel deep and just explosive. A little bit of an open stance.
Shot foul has Heather Tarr dancing down in that third base coach's box. The Husky alum, head coach now for the 18th season. Winners of the national championship in 2009. And she is the winningest coach in Husky history. Some changes to the staff. Lance Glasso is still their pitching coach. Kyle Novak is the new hitting coach, and of course Sis Bates, one of their student assistants after the All-America shortstop graduated. One-two.
You know, LSU has a deep staff, but you know there was a lot of intention and thought that went in to who Beth Torina wanted to match up against Washington. Wickersham, more of a spin-type pitcher, change of speeds often, likes to stay down in the zone. Understanding that Washington early has shown a lot of power trying to keep the ball in the ballpark, using Wickersham, try to keep the ball down.
Yeah, and Amanda, to your point, LSU, that's the type of staff they have. They have an arm for everything.
Reaches for it. Pleasance at short, slings it over to first in time. Reynolds has to hold it. Second one down. About the scouting report on Shelby Wickersham.
Yeah, she has good movement, likes to stay down in the zone, and really she wants you to chase in the dirt. She wants you to get out of your strike zone, just like that with that off-speed curveball that was more away from Klingler. She wants you to go down in the zone with her to try to chase her off-speed stuff.
All right, here's our first look at Olivia Johnson. They call her Ojo. Reached base in her first 14 plate appearances as a Washington Husky last weekend. And that included 3 home runs and 8 runs batted in, and then opponents just started walking her. One for 2 earlier today with a couple of walks and a run scored.
Good eye, doesn't bite it. A pitch low and outside. Look at her OPS.
It's insane. 2,400.
2.4.
On base plus slugging.
Johnson fights that one off, low and in.
And one of 3 freshmen on the junior national team that Washington has on their roster. So much talent. Just Washington really has started out so strong, making a big splash already this year. Large part to the contributions that their freshmen are giving them. And of course, Gabby playing one of the best pitchers in the country.
Here's the 2-2. Full count.
All the way down to 49 miles an hour. Wickersham drops down that off-speed curveball that she throws. It has really tight spin. She wants you to chase it off the plate. Olivia Johnson able to hold back and work it to a full count.
And got her. 2 out.
It's all about the spin, the speed, and the spot. She's got all of them. Really good rotation, really good location. So those 2 things, and it's not always about that speed. Nice tight spin, gets it underneath the hands, picks up a big strikeout with Olivia Johnson.
Madison Husky here, the number 4 hitter with 2 outs. After Sammy Reynolds led off the inning with a double. Score for Washington as Reynolds cruises home in the inning for the Huskies.
It really seems like Wickersham wants to work that inside corner to the righties that she's gone up against, and Husky just turns on it. Close call.
It's foul to me.
Yeah, it looked like it was on the foul side of the bag whenever it crossed. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they are going to bring them back.
Okay.
It's where it goes over the bag, not where it landed. Yeah. Good job by the umpires. Well, let's see if Husky can do it again. On a 1-1 count. Bound away from Cummins. Reynolds to third.
Come right back to that inside corner. This one a little bit lower.
Right back to the pitcher. Wickersham's got it. And they will keep the run off the board. LSU picking up the bats when we come back.
The St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational presented by Wilson would like to recognize the following sponsors. Visit St. Pete Clearwater, Wilson, the City of Clearwater, D1 Softball, Mizuno, Jabra, Vitacost.com, Rawlings, Easton, and the Florida Sports Foundation. Thank you for your support of the St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational presented by Wilson. Pitching for the Huskies is number
How about a look at the
28,
LSU
Matt
Tigers starting lineup with Sierra Briggs in that number 2 spot. She and Danica Coffey have been fabulous at the top of the lineup. Sunseri and Rudity had home run balls, 3-run shots earlier this evening in their big win over Oklahoma State. They will face Pat Moore, who gets the call, her 3rd appearance of the season for the 5th-year senior lefty out of Medford, Oregon.
Batting for
1-0
the
on the
Tigers,
season,
number
6 innings of
13.
work. This is her
Danica
4th
Coffey.
year now at Washington after a freshman campaign at DePaul. She had a no-hitter in the regionals last year.
Coach Tarr was excited that she was back. Wasn't sure if she was going to retire, but decided to come back. And she's like, oh yeah, could always use that left arm in the circle. Versatile player.
Danica Coffey was 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI in the Oklahoma State run rule victory.
I really like the way that Danica Coffey has looked this season. I just think she looks like a different player from her freshman year where we saw her play a lot of second base, fill in there, and this year playing third base and leading off, and I just feel like she looks so confident.
Danica 381 on the season. At RBI earlier, her first this year. As Pat Moore gets the strikeout, 1 down.
Pat Moore does a good job from that left side, really running that curveball away from lefties, so it's got a little out, a little down. She's not going to blow it past you. She just has that good late sharp movement, primarily drop and curve, but she can change eye levels with the rise ball and a changeup, but it's that curveball. Watch for her to use that today, away from the lefties, into the righties. When she controls that on the corners, she can be tough to hit.
Briggs tries to lay down the bunt, Trickles foul. Briggs, the sophomore, 1 for 2 with a couple of runs scored. She was on base 3 times earlier tonight. Good change. In for a strike. It's gone final now in Tuscaloosa. What a pitcher's duel. Montana Fouts gets the win over Keely Rochard. 1-0 in that one.
It's a tough day to be a hitter.
Yes.
Each of them had 11 strikeouts.
The umpire is going to need ice more than the pitchers, right?
Yeah, right?
Calling that third strike.
Sore.
Auburn continued its roll tonight, too. A 6-2 win over Texas. Big one here today was Northwestern's upset in extra innings. They beat UCLA 6-4. Maeve Nelson, a walk-off 3-run home run. And Michigan's Coach Hutch picked up a win, so she is 1 shy of tying Mike Candrea for the career wins lead. Could happen here tomorrow, when the Wolverines will play a couple more.
And that's one thing about this tournament. Every single game you have to show up. It does not matter who you are playing. You see teams look really good in game 1 of the day and then show up for game 2 and end up getting run ruled.
Yeah, well, that home run, by the way, was off of Megan Farimo for Maeve.
Yeah, now UCLA has to play Auburn, the hottest team, or one of the hottest teams in the tournament, first thing in the morning. And then later that day, Texas.
Yep,
we'll have that one.
We'll have that one tomorrow evening. Yep. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming. Pulled foul. Well, how about this moment for Maeve? Boom.
On a 1-2 count, too. Northwestern really rallied down to their last strike. A couple of 2-strike hits in that inning to keep the game alive and put the bat in the hands of Maeve Nelson. It's a good hug.
I love the excitement, right?
No kidding.
Remember last year they had to stay in the dugout. They weren't allowed to celebrate the home runs.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see them out again.
Oh, and great to have the Big Ten back. You know,
Yes.
they had to play just the conference schedules. They spent, what, 3 weeks down in Orlando playing games just against one another, and great to see them back out and about. Michigan's here, Northwestern's here. Wisconsin, Kayla Conwent is back in their lineup.
This battle with Sierra Briggs going up against Pat Moore just will not go away. Pat Moore still has pitch to play with here, just a 2-2 count. Like to see her maybe throw that changeup again. Maybe not so much around the plate, a little bit out of the plate, get her, or a little bit in the dirt, get her to chase it, or expand the zone with her curveball. Or go inside, just do complete opposite of anything that I mentioned.
Oh, that backdoor curveball is so tough, right? That's the one thing you could see the way that Briggs was like, whoop, leaning back.
She liked that pitch too. She liked the location of it to be able to set up this next pitch. Feeling good about that spot.
11th pitch of the at-bat coming. And it's going to get to a dozen.
Pat Moore leaves that pitch a little sweet. I think she would have liked that to be a little bit more, start a little more on the outside corner and run it. As it's a little bit through the zone, Briggs fouls it off.
And Briggs wins that one. Draws the walk on the 12th pitch.
It's a great at bat by Sierra Briggs.
Next batter for the Tigers is shortstop number 17.
Because we have
Taylor
LSU
Pleasant.
for back-to-back games today, we're gonna get a chance to see really how Taylor Pleasance progresses through her at bat. Struck out a couple of times, then a couple of weak ground balls, but maybe she can continue to make little adjustments. That's a good swing. That's the best swing that we've seen her have today. Beth Torina down at third base, nodding her head like, that's better.
Better connected with that lower body, upper body on time, as we like to say.
And it hit her. Couple of free passes. That bumps Briggs into scoring position.
It's a backdoor curveball that just looks like it just maybe goes off the leg.
So with a couple on, Shelby Sinceri.
The next batter for the Tigers.
And here's what she did earlier today. With
She
2 on.
got all into a pitch. This actually, she played at the game-winning run because that home run put them in front by 8, and then they got 3 outs to run roll Oklahoma State. Beautiful swing by Shelby Sinceri, who's seen the ball big early in the season.
Senior out of Santa Fe, Texas. 333 on the season. That home run, by the way, her 4th, with 12 RBIs in their first 7 games.
You can tell she's feeling really good at the plate. She hit 8 home runs all of last season, only batted .234. She's the type of hitter that can hit for both average and power, and it's really what's expected of her in the middle of the lineup, her and Georgia Clark.
Catches the outside corner.
Well, and that's really the key, too, for Sinceri. When she's hitting well, protecting Pleasance, right? So it's always that power behind power, protecting each other. So Clark, Sinceri, Pleasance, when those, you know, middle of a lineup are hitting well and on time, it makes a big difference. So that's really, I think, one of the other keys for Pleasance. She just needs to hang in there and know that she's got some strength behind her.
Sinceri grounds it to short. The flip, second for 1, and a double play for the Husky defense to end the threat.
You know, you guys, a big question mark for Washington is filling holes up the middle of the field. They start 2 freshmen, and Holtorf and Fiedler, and they get to turn the double play. And let me tell you, they were pumped after this, knowing it was their first to turn together.
St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational, presented by Wilson, is brought to you by Visit St. Pete Clearwater, Florida, and Wilson Fast Pitch, leaders in softball innovation.
A good look at the skyline here. St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational presented by Wilson. Another gorgeous evening around the bay. Top of the second, scoreless so far. Good double play to end the threat by the Washington defense. And one of those involved, Kinsey Fiedler, the second baseman, will start things off. 5, 6, and 7. They are starting a freshman at both second base and short tonight.
Big shoes to fill when Assist Bates graduates. But what a luxury to have her back as a coach, right? To be able to work with the freshmen middle infielders. And there she is, coaching the first base.
She would be one of the front runners to be considered for the brand new Gold Glove that will be given out for the first time. Rawlings in conjunction with the Coaches Association. There will be Gold Gloves awarded this year to the top at each position as Pleasance bobbles another one, and her struggles to start the season continues. All she can do is sigh right now and try and fight her way through it.
This is typically a routine ground ball for Taylor Pleasance. And the one thing I notice is she's not cutting the ball off in front of the bag. She's just kind of coming lateral to it. So the ball's almost playing her, but you can tell Taylor Pleasance a little bit out of rhythm right now in her entire game, both in the box and in the field.
Well, they changed it from an E6 to a single. I'm not quite sure how, but it is the case. Sarah Willis, the Canadian, in the 6th spot, and in the DP role. She had a home run in the Tennessee game. One of the 4 they hit.
She's been playing well early in the season. A pitcher for this Washington team as well. Is playing center field tonight. Played center field in Puerto Vallarta too for opening weekend. Robbed a home run. I saw a highlight of hers.
Yes.
Yeah. And now you have 2 pitchers who aren't pitching tonight but are in the starting lineup for Washington, with Brooke Nelson hitting in the 8th spot and Sarah Wilson in the 6th.
And that gives you so many opportunities as a coach to be able to use those arms, pitch by committee. And they're in the lineup, right? So they're playing defensively. If you need them to pitch, they come in. You can slide them around. You can get very creative.
Strikeout. Hey, let's get you caught up on what happened. You may have heard the uproar just a moment ago from the field next door. Kiki Malloy, who started out the game with a home run, adds another in the top of the 7th inning to tie the game. Tennessee and Clemson. Oh, Kiki, nice. Little side step across home plate. You can see through the trees there, the bleachers and the dirt infield just next door to us. Great setup here at the Eddie Seymour Softball Complex. Jen Cummings gets the start as the catcher. Sophomore from Redmond, Washington.
Kind of seemed like with her delayed swing that there should have been a steal there. No?
Yes.
Freshman over at first base.
Cummings 3 for 6 on the season, has appeared in 3 games.
Oh, nice wiggle on that pitch. 50 mile an hour, a lot of spin, really late sharp movement. Look at the way she's going to sell this pitch, and then look at the rotation. It is like a top, it's like a UFO. It's kind of buzzing around out there.
She really cups that pitch in her hand when she goes to release it. Really big bend in her wrist. And then when she goes inside with that drop ball, she can throw her drop ball on different levels, Michelle. It's not just a drop ball that ends up at the shoelaces. She can start it at about the belt high and then bring it to the mid-thigh.
2-2 to Cummings. Fouls it off.
And I think as pitchers start to develop, right, we always mention how important it is to throw different speeds. A lot of pitchers really working on throwing 2 and 3 speeds, but you also have to be able to locate your pitches at different heights as well. So at your knees, mid-thigh, up, elevated, at the letters. Just to expand that strike zone in any direction.
Yeah, it's a really good point, Michelle, because it's not just about saying, oh, I have a drop ball, oh, I have a rise ball, oh, I have a changeup, but can you locate it? That's really the difference maker. And locate it in all different counts. Be able to throw it early in the count for a strike, be able to throw it more for a pitch that's off the plate, a chase pitch. Have consistency and command with it.
2-2 pitch. Hitter. First free pass from Wickersham.
A drop ball, trying to work the corners and just pulls that in a little bit too much across her body. Gets Cummings on the back leg.
Fiedler with the single. Cummings hit by the pitch. And here's Brooke Nelson getting the start at first base tonight. Brooke 2 for 6 on the season. This is the 3rd game she has played in. Another one that can get in the circle and pitch as well for Washington. For 3 so far with runners in scoring position for Washington, and that's drilled back up the middle into center field. Briggs charges the throw off the line, and sliding in safely is Kinsey Fiedler for UW.
These versatile pitchers for UW getting it done in the box. Great arms, but great sticks as well. Blast this right back up the middle. Sierra Briggs with a nice shot home, slightly up. Cummings unable to make the tag in time. Really good job for Washington to put the pressure on LSU here early and play to run.
So Fiedler, who had reached on the error at short, comes around to score.
Briggs with a really strong arm and that throw. If that would have been on the third base side of home plate, it would have been a close play. And she even bobbled it, or it rolled up her glove, barehanded it, and then just the fact that the throw took Cummins to the first base side, but that was a strong throw.
Strong throw. You know, it's always the, you think about in Japan, a lot of times they always use the dirt. They always try to bounce it off the dirt. That throw makes it all the way in the air. It's a long way to throw the ball.
Run across, and here's Riley Holtorf in the 9th spot. So the bottom of the lineup for UW generating a run. And the RBI double from Brooke Nelson. Holtorf started the double play to end a threat at the bottom of the first. Opening weekend, the Huskies went 5-0 with 4 run rule wins. That included beating Arkansas twice, so they've already seen the SEC this year. Arkansas, the co-champs in the regular season with Florida last season.
Put together a tough pre-conference schedule. Heather Tarr did, trying to challenge her team early and getting to travel to all these preseason tournaments too, or pre-conference tournaments like this one.
They will have Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, and Clemson still on the slate here in Florida. Currently 8 ranked teams on their non-conference schedule. Remember last year the pandemic was still lingering. They had a really tough time rescheduling canceled games. Of course, the remoteness of the Pacific Northwest, it was hard to get teams to travel in there, hard on the spur of the moment for Washington to travel out. And they did not have the strength of schedule that they wanted, and certainly that the selection committee wanted. After finishing second in the Pac-12,
for the Huskies, number 10.
By all accounts, they got jobbed with a number 16 seed that forced them to play at Oklahoma in the Super Regionals.
Yeah, and had to host Michigan at home. So their regional was tough. Their Super Regional going to the number 1 seed. And think about this too, they're starting 3 freshmen. So how do you test them? How do you get them fired up and ready to go for your season? You test them early because you don't want them cracking late in the season when things are really starting to develop.
Top of the order with the bases loaded for Reynolds, who doubled her first time up, found the gap out in right center. Already some activity in the bullpen. Raylan Chafin, the freshman right-hander. Wickersham is really slamming that ball into her glove right now. She's looking feisty out there.
Look at Reynolds, 5 for 5, batting 1,000 with runners in scoring position.
Oof. Two and two.
It's amazing how that pitch goes. You thought it was a strike, thought it was going to go 2-2, but it was called a ball. So instead it's 3-1. That's a difference that one pitch and at bat, one call can make, because it's a total different feel now in a 3-1 count.
Strike 2 to Reynolds. This top 3 in the lineup was tearing it up against Tennessee. They went 5 for 8 with 6 runs batted in. And 3 home runs from the top 3. With 1 out, 3 base runners. Waited on the change. From Chirina to the infield to Wickersham, and here we go, full count. Reynolds back up the middle and through. 1 run is in, Cummins coming home. Nelson slides in safely. 2 more on the board, courtesy of Sammy Reynolds.
And this inning, Washington just being able to use the ground and what's taken to them. Wickersham, a drop ball pitcher, so oftentimes balls are going to be hit into the ground, and that's the third ball that's hit into the ground for a base hit in this inning. Sammy Reynolds has that gap-to-gap power with their doubles, but also can just drive it up the middle for a couple of RBIs.
Just taking advantage of the fact that defense is in, right? That's one of the things you want to do as a hitter. Just know that if you can hit it hard, there's a good chance you can get it past those middles.
Three 0 Washington. Brooke Nelson with the RBI double, Sammy Reynolds with the 2-run single, and a pitching change is coming. Raylan Chafin on the other side.
The new pitcher for the Tigers is number 34, Raylan Chafin.
So the new pitcher, Raylan Chafin, coming on, the freshman from Louisiana. And for Raylan, it will be her second appearance. She's got 4 innings of work through their first 7 games. She's a top 20 recruit.
Oh, and I love what Coach says about her. She's like, she's stone-faced. She's super serious. She's going to need to be in this situation. Love to see the freshman put under pressure.
Shelby Wickersham chased here in the second.
She'll throw with good velocity, mid to high 60s, a little bit more up in the zone. Will mix that curve, screw, and rise. Excited to see her pitch against a highly ranked team in Washington.
And she is greeted by the big bopper, Bailey Klingler. Grounded to short in the first, hit 2 home runs earlier today. Runner goes, the throw down not in time, and a stolen base for Sammy Reynolds. So now 2 in scoring position.
You know, Michelle, it seems like oftentimes Beth Torina recruits tall pitchers, and Chafin just 5'6".
Yeah. A good velo for her size, right? Mid-60s, good spin, snap.
Really great arm speed as she approaches through release. Speeds up. Just watch her arm speed as she does not slow down. She's fearless through her release, spins it off.
Washington trying to keep the foot on the gas here, a chance to pick up 2 more with 1 out for Klingler.
I thought it was also great what Coach talked about, that like she brings her bag to practice every day, like she's shown up for work, you know, it's like it's her toolbox, right? Just super serious, hardworking, and you know, Katrina loves that.
Oh, absolutely.
Bailey just got a piece of it. Second team All-American last year. In her 3rd season now at Washington after coming over from Texas A&M. She's played some short, some third, some second base. Still some moving pieces around the infield, and she launches one. Deep into the night, into the trees and gone. A 3-run shot for Bailey Klingler.
Home run, Bailey Klingler.
Wow, this Washington team showing up with an offense that is putting big crooked numbers up on the board, an outside pitch, and Klingler just drives that out of the yard, immediately goes into that home run trot. Foot down, full extension, a 3-run bomb to make it a 6-0 game. Oh, you can hear the sound of it.
Oh, man.
Third home run of the day.
It only took her 2 steps to get into that trot. She
she
slowed it
knew.
right down.
Well,
yeah, I'm going to enjoy this one.
It's her third home run. I was going to say, of course she knows what that feels
Oh,
like.
boy.
Yeah, she knows.
Chance of MVP.
And amazing, too, about her home runs, you guys, is that the first 2 in the first game went opposite field, and then she's also able to sit back on a changeup and pull it to the left side.
Huskies having some fun early. The 6-0 lead. A 6-run second inning.
Also, all we do on this field is 3-run home runs. I think it started with Maeve Nelson and the walk-off against UCLA, and then we had, what, 2 last game?
Yep.
And now we had the one just now.
And now it's Olivia Johnson time. That open stance with the left foot almost on the chalk, way up in front of the box.
Remember, this inning started with that hit that went down as a hit, but I would have called it an error by Taylor Pleasance. And there was a strikeout and then a hit by pitch and then another walk in this inning as well. So a lot of freebies.
Well, it sets the tone, right? If you make that play and you get the strikeout, now you've got 2 outs. The hit by pitch doesn't hurt you as much with 2 outs. It's just the energy of the game. Can swing so quickly.
That is Taylor Edwards now out in the bullpen. Taylor has not appeared yet in the circle this year. As things have escalated quickly here.
Well, it's been this way in a lot of Washington's games. They've had 6 wins and 4 run rule wins this season.
Full count to Johnson. Grounds it to Pleasance. Snags it over to first. 2 outs. See, we got a couple of games all knotted up. UCF and Texas Tech. 3-3 in the 7th. And that looks like extras. Clemson and Tennessee. In the bottom of the 8th, the Tigers trying to walk it off. Madison Husky is the 9th to the plate this inning.
There's a lot of orange on that other field over there, and a lot of purple on this field.
Good call.
And then we got black on the other field.
Madison almost had an RBI double in the 2nd. The call was reversed, turned into a foul ball, and then ended up grounding out.
and so aggressive.
And tough with 2 strikes. That Klingler home run, they got a 1-2 count. And now Husky just not going away with 2 strikes.
Ball outside, 1-2. Same spot, 2-2.
Good discipline. It's easy to chase those curveballs with 2 strikes, trying to protect.
Full count.
What a bat by Matty Husky.
And she draws the walk.
Husky 0-2 behind and works her way back to draw the walk. Really good at bat.
Kinsey Fielder.
Keller at the plate right now for Clemson. Trying to end it in the 8th. With a couple on board, they only need the 1. That's on the field right next door to us. And on the right, our game, as Kinsey Fiedler comes to the plate for the 2nd time this inning. Big punch out. And Tennessee holds, and they will head to the 9th inning next door. Some of our fans over here watching both ways right now. That's the beauty of our setup here at Eddie Seymour Softball Complex.
A lot of folks at the fields 1 through 4 just up the street. Some really good matchups this morning, and then some of the big matchups here this evening. Crowds trickling down here all day long. Great softball here in Clearwater.
Tomorrow's just going to be packed, don't you think? I mean, if it was this busy on Thursday and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday too, I would imagine, but Saturday being the busiest day.
Well, somewhere out there tonight, Lawyer Malloy, Kiki Malloy's dad, who graduated from UW, has a chance to watch both ways. Kiki's hit 2 home runs in that game for Tennessee. Lawyer, the former football All-American.
And his other daughter played at Washington.
Yes, mom was also a stud athlete. We talk about Bailey Klingler's first couple of days here. Kiki's right there with her first couple of days, swinging a big stick. Florida State has looked very impressive. So have the Auburn Tigers through the first couple of days. Runner goes, and the strikeout called anyways. Fiedler retired, but 6 runs up on the board in the 2nd, including the Klingler 3-run shot.
Bailey Klingler getting all into a pitch, a 3-run bomb to put the Huskies up 6-0 over LSU.
UCF Texas Tech update. Jada Cody, RBI single, extra innings lead right now for the Knights. Trying to grab the dub. Extra innings as well between Clemson and Tennessee tonight as we check out our upcoming schedule, brought to you by Wilson. Will be back with you at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPNU, UCLA, and Auburn to kick off the day. We'll have the later action for you, Texas and UCLA on the U. Got some terrific matchups, got ranked teams all over the joint. Good grab by Danica Coffey. Check that Klingler to rob Georgia Clark.
So good at the hot corner. And Michelle, she can play any position. Heather Tarr calls her the Swiss Army knife for their team. And that ball was hit so hard. She can play second, short, first, catch. She can do it all.
So how about Klingler, right? She's hitting a third home run today, we just saw last inning, making defensive plays. It's amazing how that confidence, that energy flows from one side of the plate to the other. And then you look at the struggles of Pleasance, right? And how it just can pull you down when you're struggling in the box. It's just such a mental game.
Long way to go, of course. Just the second weekend of the regular season on the road to the 40th Women's College World Series in June. Over 2,000 games for you along the way. Pac-12 is going to be going back to a postseason tournament. Yeah. Big 12 just restarted theirs.
I like that. Do you guys like the postseason?
I do.
I think it's a really good warm-up, and it gives teams that maybe had an average year an opportunity to possibly get the qualifier.
Shallow left, and coming on is Sammy Reynolds. Diving grab, 2 down.
Next batter for the Tigers, number 4, Mackenzie Roderday.
Look at the way she comes in. She's going to lay out good communication as your left fielder's coming in, your shortstop's going out, keeps her eye on the ball. And oh yeah, Pat Moore is like, yes, my defense has me.
2 times in a row.
Well, we've seen some teams a bit out of sorts defensively.
Yeah.
That one was in tune. That's the left fielder's ball. Shortstop gave way.
Yeah.
Full layout, bang.
Holtorf, the freshman, it'd be very easy for her to try to overplay that ball, get in the way. She doesn't. She peels off. Reynolds diving catch.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. We're used to seeing good defensive teams come out of Washington. That, is what they hang their hat on every single year. And so when you put together this explosive offense that they have, it's just like, wow, they are a top 5, top 3 team in the country right now.
Mackenzie Roderday had that towering 3-run home run over the scoreboard in her last at-bat of their Oklahoma State win, and now her first at-bat here.
That's what happens when you hit by home runs, bombs like that. The changeup is going to show up often.
Yeah.
And that last pitch from Pat Moore, really nice. Taking something off it, trying to keep Roderday off balance.
Well, it feels good to pitch with a 6-run lead, huh? This is that home
how
run.
far this one goes.
Yeah. And specifically watch the right fielder, Haley Busby. Didn't even turn around, just a little glance over the scoreboard. What do we think that went, you guys? You got to wear the home run chain. What do we think that went? 270?
Possibly, huh?
Yeah.
$250?
I mean, 270 sells it. That's
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, I'll stick with it. 273.
Oh, that foul ball went over into the Clemson-Tennessee game. All Huskies early. The Tigers trailed twice in the game earlier tonight, rallied, and scored 10 runs, so not out of it just yet. We're only in the second inning. And the 2-out walk for Rudidik.
The next batter for the Tigers, number 26, Morgan Cummins.
Morgan Cummins, the catcher, in the 8th spot in the lineup. Junior out of Sarasota. And Pat Moore will have a chat with Jen Cummings. No relation, they two catchers. They spell their names differently as well.
By one letter, right?
Other than messing us up pregame when we were trying to pencil in our lineup cards. And now it looks like Pat Moore's ready to roll. Just a gorgeous night, great day. This is the 13th game of the day. Shout out to all of our crew here behind the scenes, folks. Long days for them, bringing you all the sights and sounds. We've seen ospreys filling up their nests on top of the lights. We've seen players trip over their own stirrups.
And a walk-off.
We've seen walk-offs. We've seen the cover of a ball on the top of the wire fence out on top of the left field wall. And, of course, a lot of baby shots in the crowd. Eating their ice cream, eating their burgers.
Typical softball stuff,
Good, wholesome fun. And there's a beer garden, so
yeah, something a little of something for everybody.
You got it.
Yes, a hot dog or two out there and a big screen, so you can go over and enjoy everything. Oh yeah.
Oh, and that.
He's the tail greeter.
He's happy.
Yep, got the food trucks out there. It's just a great event. Base knockout to left. And here come the Tigers on 2.
First hit of the game for LSU.
Next up is the 9-hitter, Sidney
Next batter for
Peterson.
the Tigers, number 1, Sidney Peterson.
Freshman out of Stockton, California, stepping in on the right side. And then the top of the order will come around again. And a couple of runners now in scoring position. Scored a wild pitch. And that'll get Lance Gasso out of the dugout. There's the pitch count for Pat.
It's definitely something that that the Washington coaching staff is thinking about is the pitching behind Gabby playing. They went on a run last year, thought that they could win a conference championship in the pack, and they used Gabby a lot at the end, maybe to the point where she was a little bit tired toward the postseason. But they didn't get a chance to really develop the rest of their pitching staff in the big games. And as a coach, you just have to commit to it and stick with it because of knowing the importance down the stretch of needing those other arms. Kelly Lynch warms up in the bullpen.
Probably reminding Pat Moore as well, hey, this is the 9-hitter. Let's take care of this right here for the 3rd out, and then we'll avoid the top of the lineup coming around.
LSU looked strong last game, really doing a good job of working the free passes. say that. Sydney swings at a pitch out of the zone.
Yeah.
Almost on cue, but you know, that's one of the things that this LSU team can do. They have to be more disciplined than they were last week. Those are things that they worked on, knowing coming into this big tournament that they were going to have to be very sharp with their eye and disciplined.
Full count. And ball four to load the bases for Danica Coffey. As the bottom three in the order all reach. Two of them walks.
On fourth free pass, first time through the lineup. So LSU continuing to work pitchers deep into counts.
And really, it's a luxury, the offense that Washington has supplied their pitchers and their defense early in this season, because now you have a chance to keep Pat Moore out there and let her work out of this on her own, knowing that you have a 6-run lead and knowing, hey, even if she gave up a grand slam, that your offense is scoring a ton of runs and that you can get back in it.
When you pitch by committee, you have to have pitchers be able to burn a certain number of innings, right? You can't have pitchers go out there and throw 2/3 of an inning or 1 inning. You need them to get at least, you know, 1 or 2 times through the lineup so that you're not constantly burning through the pen and then your arms are tired.
Well, and the other Pac-12 team that is like that to watch out for this season is UCLA with Megan Faremo. Not just relying on her the entire season and throwing her too much.
Moore's in the driver's seat now, 1 and 2. Missed it low. Drifting foul out of play. Big chance here for the Tigers to try and get back at it. Moore struck out Coffey on a curveball back into first.
It seemed like it was going to be a pretty quick inning, right? With a routine ground ball and a nice catch out in left field. All of a sudden it's turned a little ugly.
Good at-bat for Coffey.
Yeah, look, Pat Moore has thrown 52 pitches, not even through 2 innings.
In the dirt, blocked.
Great job by Jen Cummings. Keep that ball relatively close to her, not allowing LSU to play to run.
(3-2) with 2 out, so they'll be on the move. Bases juiced for Danica Coffey. And a run will score. Good at-bat for Coffey to draw the walk. Now that's the 3rd of the inning. And the bases will still be loaded for Sierra Briggs.
Trying to go to that curveball.
Actually hit her.
Yeah, it looked like it slipped out of her hand, Michelle. And
yeah, that may be all for Pat Moore. Pitching change coming for Washington. The threat still exists for LSU. Back in a moment.
The new pitcher for the Huskies, number 27, Kelly Lynch.
All right, the new pitcher is Kelly Lynch, the right-hander from Noonan, Georgia. Former high school national player of the year.
Brought to you by Visit St. Pete Clearwater.
Kelly was 5-7 last season. One appearance so far this year, has thrown just 2 1/3. She was behind Taryn Alvello and Gabby Plain the first couple of years of her career. And now she will come on with a bit of an issue. 1 run is in and the bases are still loaded, and here come the 2, 3, 4 hitters with a couple of outs. She comes on for Pat Moore. Sierra Briggs walked her first at-bat, which was a 12-pitch AB.
The next batter for the Tigers, number 88, Sierra Briggs.
With Coffee at first base, they're a gap away from being just 2 runs down. Because if Briggs is able to find a gap right here, Coffee with 2 outs is going to be running. She has speed. She could score, make this a 2-run game.
Yeah, Coffee at first, Cummins at third, Peterson at second.
Side of the plate has been tight all day long.
Really.
A lot of pitchers rely on that.
2-1 pitch. 3-1.
Good spot right there.
Off the corner.
You know, sometimes as a catcher, important to, if you're not always getting that corner, just to give a little bit more body lean, a little bit more movement with that glove into the zone, help your pitcher out.
The 3-2 pitch again with 2 outs, and there go the runners, fouled off by Briggs. has walked already 3 times in their 8 innings in 2 games tonight. And a big strikeout for Lynch. LSU gets a run in, but they leave them loaded.
Ellie Lynch with a little bit of upspin here, the low rise ball to get the strikeout with the bases loaded. Still have a 5-run lead.
Visit Wilson.com to learn more. Attention softball fans, are you looking for the best coverage of college softball? D1 Softball is the leading source for everything Division I softball. Head over to d1softball.com for features, rankings, podcasts, and more all season long. You can even use code SAINTPETE, that's STPETE, for a 20% subscription.
Oh, wild finish next door for Clemson at the plate, trying to win it. And the hit to short, the throwing miscue to second, then the throwing error to home as Maddie Moore will come in to score. The Tigers walk it off. The tough luck continues for Tennessee as they go final in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Leading off for the Huskies, number 66.
So we are the last one standing here,
Willis.
gang.
It's just us.
To the top of the 3rd we go. At a 6-1 Washington lead over LSU, the 13th game of the day, an action-packed Friday for you.
And we've really seen a lot of everything. We saw some pitching gems, right? Kelly Maxwell almost had a no-hitter. We've seen some run rules. We've seen some extra inning walk-offs. It's if it can be done on a softball field, it has been happening here in Clearwater.
Yeah, there were 3 or 4 extra inning games this afternoon.
We got 12 more tomorrow.
Woohoo!
It'll start at 10 o'clock on ESPNU with UCLA and Auburn. LSU has to come back tomorrow morning and play again against Notre Dame at 10:30.
After their late night last night, that's
Northwestern against Clemson all of a sudden becomes interesting after Northwestern's big upset of UCLA. Michigan, Florida State tomorrow afternoon on the ACC network.
How about Florida State? They've been swinging it.
Washington is back in action against Texas Tech tomorrow afternoon, and we will get a lot of Texas. Our games tomorrow, 4 o'clock on ESPNU, Texas, UCLA, and then on the Longhorn Network tomorrow night, Texas and UCF.
Texas looking to rebound after a couple of losses.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for the Longhorns, for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, for Tennessee. All not what they were hoping for when they arrived. Wisconsin had a couple of nice wins here. Sarah Willis laces that to center, and right air is Sierra Briggs.
She hit that ball so hard. And she's so amped up about it, she went ahead and just rounded the bases, went hard into second. Having some fun.
Next batter for the Huskies, number 19, Jen Cummings.
I mean, talk about being on time and hitting that ball on a line. Just play and catch with Sierra Briggs out there in center field.
It was a 6-run second inning for LSU. The 3-run home run from Bailey Klingler. It seems a long time ago, doesn't it? LSU countered with 1 run in the bottom of the second and then left the bases loaded. Jen Cummings with Brooke Nelson on deck. Bottom of the order here for UW. Looks like D-Lo with the velo is working the Twitter box tonight. Danielle Laurie tweeting out, "Have a day, Bailey." Great to have Danielle back with us, the ESPN Announce family, after picking up a bronze medal with Team Canada this past summer. Great for the Canadians. So many of whom, in fact, all of them, I think, played collegiately here in the United States. A lot of familiar names on their roster.
A lot of talent. They were 1 run away, right? They lost 1-0 to Team USA, 1-0 to Japan. If they would have won either of those games, potentially could have played for the gold medal.
Yeah.
Mark Smith, who was the head coach, was a great men's fast pitch. Used to play against the Clearwater Bombers. A lot of history of men's fast pitch in this area.
Yes. Bombers, one of the more legendary in the country.
Yeah, Herb Dudley, the field's named appropriately after Eddie Seymour and Herb Dudley. So a lot of great fast pitch in this area, both men's and women's.
And a strikeout for Raylan Chafin. Came on in that last inning in relief.
Chafin working a little bit of a scries. It looks like a rise ball, screwball combination. It's going to run up and away from Cummings.
Boy, she was greeted with the 3-run home run and then has settled down a bit here. Brooke Nelson, RBI double in that second inning. Trying to check it. 0-2.
Yeah, I like the energy that Chafin brings in the circle. Gets real excited about those strikeouts, just trying to pump up this LSU team. I mean, you think about it, their last offensive half inning, they were swinging away from just getting right back into this game.
Called strike 3 and a 1-2-3 inning for Chafin. And is this a bit of a momentum shifter?
How about Chafin, the freshman, getting it done? The curve on the outside corner. And just the energy. Chafin with the punch out.
Tigers. Tigers is Klingler.
Let's check out tonight's game track, brought to you by Wilson. Sammy Reynolds, some good glove work, also good with the bat. Klingler had a 3-run shot. Coffey had the RBI walk, but they have stranded 4, including the bases loaded in that last inning. And we've already seen 4 pitchers, and it's a 6-1 Washington lead for Taylor Pleasance, Shelby Sunseri, and Georgia Clark coming around for the Tigers. Kelly Lynch is the reliever. Those are not numbers we have come to expect through the first couple of seasons for Taylor. Hit .316 last year with power. Made the U.S. national team over the summer. Heading into next summer, I should say. Gets a hold of that. Back to the track, back to the base of the wall, and it will stay in the yard as Madison Husky is there. But the best contact of the weekend so far for Taylor.
That's better, right? We've seen her progressively get better and better and better every single at bat, to where all she wanted to do was just feel the ball lift to the outfield again instead of strike out or hit a ground ball to the infield. That's better though by Taylor Pleasance. Let's wait to see what she does her next at bat. Maybe one gets out of here.
Shelby Sunseri grounded into a double play in the first. Oh, nice off speed from Kelly Lynch.
Give up a loud out to the fence. First pitch back with that changeup, trying to say, oh, wait, keep this in the back of your mind, hitters. Changeup, the best weapon ever, right? Because you throw it there, it gets you a little off balance, and then you throw your heat, and it does that. It puts a foul ball back in the stands.
We've been talking for years about 3 speeds. We heard several coaches this week on our conference calls talk about 4 speeds now, that not just the different planes, but the different speeds, and
more speeds the better.
Hitters caught up with those 3 speeds. You need another. I'm not sure if that's, are we going up to 75? Or are we going down to 45? Where is that 4th speed, I guess?
A lot of times you're like fastball, curveball, drop, anything down in the zone typically clocks harder. So those will be your like high 60s to 70. Your rise ball typically will be mid 60s. Then you have your off-speed drop, low 60s, and then your changeup should be 48 to 52 miles an hour. So we're just defining it a little better. I think in the past we've all thrown them, but we're just.
You need a bunch of wedges in your golf bag. You need a bunch of different pitches in your.
Well, because they're
in your holster out there.
Yeah. They're looking at the data all the time, so it's like ingrained in their mind. The numbers.
It's too high. It's too high.
Thought Bimo was going to lay out for that one.
I was prepared to not do that, but the way the netting here is, I don't think we've had a ball come into the.
No, we
booth,
closed last year. I think it was close last year. Would have to have the right spin on it.
Wow, lifted down the line and just foul. That was slicing towards the foul pole. Boy, is she confident right now at the plate.
Just swinging so freely.
Straighten it out. 5 more feet. You got it. I thought it hit the foul pole. Didn't hit any of that white down there?
Somebody's by a microphone out there. It did not hit the foul pole. It was close, but.
Getting her hands to everything, you know, no matter what the speed is, no matter which side of the plate it is.
Get your stance and get your glove ready. It's got a touch.
It was a nice located pitch. That would have been a ball lower. It would have been a ball out of the yard.
Yeah, Shelby was thinking 6-2 on that swing.
She's swinging big.
2-2. She is wrecking the arch of her foot tonight. That's the second time we've heard that. Here comes the 11th pitch of this at-bat. 2-2 count. Called strike 3. A little bit of a stare down from Shelby. Didn't like that call one bit.
Looks like Lynch is going to step a little open and then put this underneath the body, almost like a screwball. So it's coming in a little up, and Shelby Sinceri thinks that this is a ball. I don't know. That looks like a pretty good pitch. Right at the belt.
There's Georgia Clark. Smokey Eds, Bobby DeMayo, Tom Meyer, Cameron Ellison, our 4-person crew tonight.
Couple of tough outs that Lynch went up against, and Pleasance and then Sinceri with that long fly ball out for Pleasance, and then Sinceri just not going away, but Kelly Lynch fighting through to get 2 outs in this inning.
Clark, who hit 3 home runs last week and is sitting in the heart of this batting order, pulled off one of the better gems of the tournament earlier today with a squeeze bunt in their win over Oklahoma State. Not thinking bunt there.
That's it a long way.
Is that Safety Harbor out there, Smitty? Where did that one land?
In the kitchen.
In Georgia?
Georgia.
Due north. Full count. Lost her. And a 2-out base runner, Georgia Clark.
Next bat for the Tigers, number 8, Savannah Stewart.
That'll bring up Savannah Stewart. Flew out to left field in the second. I believe that was the full extension layout from Sammy Reynolds on the catch. First pitch swinging. Shallow center, back on the grass to make the plays. Kinsey Fiedler. They have looked pretty good up the middle. The 2 rooks at second and short. Here she comes, due up this half inning. Boom! Bailey found the barrel and drove in 3 the last time up.
Mawale for the win. National champion.
Dynasty fulfills its destiny.
The great upset in history.
Oh, it's March and it's madness and it's coming up exclusively on ESPN and ABC. We get underway March 16th.
Riley Holtor.
On the road to the national championship, Stanford Cardinal, your defending champs. They're right there near the top. South Carolina, though, right now the team to beat. Just underway week number 2 in the college softball season. And one of the great tournaments in the early part of the year here, the St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational, presented by Wilson.
We missed it last year. Didn't
Yes,
get
we
to have
did.
it.
Yes, we did.
And then in 2020, it was one of the last things that we got to do before everything shut down.
9 and then the top for Washington. Riley Holtorf walked and scored in that 6-run second inning. Inside corner, 1 and 2.
I'm interested to see who UCLA pitches tomorrow against Auburn.
Yeah.
You know, because they threw for Emo against Northwestern. They lost in extras, but there's no easy game from here on out this weekend for them. And Auburn, who look like, on schedule, maybe one of their easier games this weekend. And I use that loosely because every team is just so competitive. But now they're going to have to decide who they want to throw against a hot-hitting team.
And then we'll see them in their second game tomorrow against Texas. Holtorf with the base hit.
Which likely Paremo will get the ball in that game. So it's like, okay, then who will pitch against Auburn?
I believe that's UCLA and Auburn to start things off for us tomorrow on the slate. 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPNU. And then Notre Dame LSU on the SEC network tomorrow morning at 10:30. Quick turnaround for the Tigers.
Yes.
Going the opposite way, and that's deep, and it's out. Sammy Reynolds continues to swing a hot bat. Her second home run in as many games today.
Sammy Reynolds.
Slamming Sammy, I'll tell you what. 3 for 3 in this game. Home run earlier. Just so quiet, foot down on time. Look at her head to her eyes. She really sees this ball deep into the zone. It's an outside pitch, and she just goes oppo taco with it. Woo!
Next batter for the Huskies, number 8, Bailey Klingler.
And Bailey Klingler is due up next, and let's see if Beth Torina is going to make a pitching change here. Looks like she will. And go get Raylan Chafin before she sees Klingler again, who hit the 3-run home run off of her earlier.
How about your partner?
And we will take a break and be right back.
The new pitcher for the Tigers,
Smitty, how about the versatility of Bailey Klingler's home run balls today?
Well, besides the fact they're all going out of the yard, they're going out at different locations. How about right field, center field, left field? She can hit them to all fields.
It's a good spray chart right there.
Spray chart, spray chart.
3 home runs on the day, I believe off of 3 different pitchers. And here she comes again to face Taylor Edwards, who we believe this is her debut this season in the circle. And Klingler deep into the hole. Pleasant slings it over to first. They get her. Washington immediately now thinking run rule here. They need one more. And then they have to take care of LSU a couple more innings.
Johnson.
One down for Olivia Johnson. Struck out in the first, grounded out to short in the second. There's Edwards, a sophomore. .571 on the season for Olivia. In for a strike, 2-1. Two and two. From one power hitter to another. A little Sierra Romero in the house.
really good hitters right there. Alex Powers, Amanda Sanchez.
Yes. Johnson, and that will drop in for a base hit. Peterson just quite couldn't get there.
Good effort by Sydney Peterson. There was just a lot of room because of how deep the outfield was playing, respecting the power of Olivia Johnson. Just out of the reach by, what, about a half foot?
See what the change is. This a runner or a hitter that's about to pinch here? Looks like a runner. Jalen Alchin will come on for Johnson, who can re-enter.
Pinch running at first base, number 42, Jalen Alchin. Next batter for the Huskies, number 9, Madison Husky.
Here comes Madison Husky, a ground out and a walk. Eight of the 9 in the lineup have reached base. 6 of the 9 have scored a run.
That second inning was a doozy.
Nice use of doozy.
Thank you. Thank you. I worked hard on that.
Another good game that happened today was Florida taking on Duke in Gainesville. They ended up winning 9-3. Skylar Wallace had 4 RBI. 4 different players had RBI for Florida. Yep, had a home run.
Transfer from Alabama, who could not play last year. Could be one of the bigger impact players around the country this year.
Shelby Walters took the loss for Duke. She's a good pitcher. I mean, she can roll some ground balls.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That is launched. Deep center field, on the run and just out of the reach of Sierra Briggs, and a run will score, and sliding in safely with a triple is Madison Husky.
Madison Husky drives this ball to the outfield. Rise ball up, she just connects, front foot down, really good swing. But all of a sudden I was thinking, is that Aaliyah Andrews? Is that an Andrews? No, it's a Sierra Briggs, and it just goes over her glove. It looked like she was going to catch it at one point. Really good effort in the outfield, but Washington continues to tack on the runs.
9-1 lead, and it's Kinsey Fiedler.
Yeah, from our angle behind home plate, it looked like Briggs was a lot closer to that ball, and then you saw it from the side, and so she's a little ways away from it. But
I thought it went off her glove.
I did too.
Yeah.
I thought it might have been in her glove, but no.
Oh, to Fiedler. She tries to go opposite with it. Runner will tag and hold up at third, and oh, they would have scored another one there. Instead, it's the second out, no damage done.
That's an important run for Washington because
next batter for the Huskies,
up by 8 runs
66,
and
Sarah
trying to hold
Willis.
on to that lead in a shorter game.
Yeah.
Sarah Willis. Oh for 2, a strikeout and a line out. Yeah, now the runner's going to try and come home and score, and she's out.
I actually thought that was a hit by pitch, but guess they're not going to call it.
Few more in, however, to make it 9-1.
Award-winning beaches, high-energy attractions, major league sports, and over 40 craft breweries. Make every visitor a fan. Create your lineup at visitstpclearwater.com.
Welcome back to the 2022 St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational, presented by Wilson. 9-1 our score. Washington with the lead over LSU. The 13th game of the day for us as we move to the bottom of the fourth, and we're joined by Beth Torino.
Coach, down by 8 right now. What's your message to the team?
I think we're swinging well. I mean, even our outs are loud outs right now. You know, I think we're doing a good job. So just chip away at it. I'm not going to try and get them all right here in this inning, but, you know, I think we're running out of gas a little bit, but we're going to keep chipping away at it and giving them our best shot.
Yeah, and Coach, I've been impressed with your pitch selection today. A lot of free passes you guys have earned. How do you teach your kids to be selective of pitches?
I think, you know, all the credit goes to Lindsay and Howard and Sandra who work with our offense. I think, you know, we have some great BP arms too. Alex and Lucas, give them a shout out because those guys do a great job, work so hard for us every day, but a lot of work, a lot of reps. So we have a great staff that does a really good job.
All right, thank you so much, Beth.
Thanks,
Coach.
All right, they will try and chip away at it. They do find themselves right now in 8-run rule territory with an at-bat here in the fourth and again in the fifth. So plenty of time to work with. And it will be Mackenzie Rudity, Morgan Cummins, and Sydney Peterson, bottom of the order here, due up to face Kelly Lynch. Kelly came on in the last inning, so first time she's seeing popped up left side and unable to hold on is Holtdorf.
That's one of the hardest plays for young shortstops. You almost overrun the ball. It's going to start coming back to the line. You can see she's going to come in. Third base gives way, and you can see just overruns it a little bit and off the glove.
Just a really talented freshman that we have. We'll continue to talk about it, not just this weekend, but all year. Just seems like every team has an impact freshman. Like Rudity, like the second baseman and shortstop for Washington, Fiedler, and Holtdorf, and of course Olivia Johnson.
And getting a lot of playing time. You know, sometimes when you have those super seniors in front, you don't always get the playing time, but they have here.
Even the Auburn freshman, Brielis, with 4 home runs, as Kelly Lynch gets a strikeout on a rise ball away. It's really good up movement, especially up and away from lefties.
One down for Lynch, and that'll bring up Morgan Cummings. On a play. Mess that up, 1-1. That one cut across the plate, 1-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Full count.
Kelly Lynch had surgery in the off season and was cleared in November, so you can tell still kind of working her feel back.
Yep. Gets the infield pop up. 2 down.
Another pitcher on their team too that can hit is Kelly Lynch. It's pretty cool that they have 3 pitchers on their team who can hop into the offense.
Sydney Peterson in the 9 spot, walked in the 2nd.
Well, because they're already in the lineup, to your point, Amanda, you can slide them in and out to the circle without burning them mid-game. And when you have to pitch by committee, that's going to make a big difference.
Definitely seems like Washington has options, right? Even think about how Jalen Alchin is a tremendous athlete on their team. Didn't get the start today. Sarah Willis was out there. It just seems like every player is pushing each other at positions. They're giving opportunities to different players to see who's going to be able to step up.
Silent Rain Espinoza is out there right now, coming on at first base. Seen her a lot at third base last year.
Well, one of the smaller squads, 17, I believe, on their rosters.
Yeah.
Some of them have, some of the teams here have had mid to high 20s.
Yeah.
Oh, that hit Peterson. And here comes the top of the order with 2 outs. Got hit on the wrist, checking to make sure she's okay.
The next batter for the Tigers, number 13, Danica Coffey.
Danica Coffey, a strikeout and a walk. That's in for a strike. 1-1.
Michelle, you can just tell the difference that a smaller strike zone makes in the feel of a game, right? There's more foul balls, there's longer at bats, there's more offense going on, and it really does change the complexion and the feel of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Longer at bats.
1-2.
Well, and I think you have to remember the strike zone is three-dimensional, and so if that ball comes through any part of it, in my opinion, or I should say that pitch goes through any part of that three-dimensional zone, it should be called a strike. And we're starting to see more and more offense because as the zone gets squeezed, the pitchers have to bring the ball through the zone for a much longer period of time, so therefore the hitters have a greater advantage to be able to make contact. Not that I'm complaining, I'm just
That's a
an
very good
observance.
observation. Out of play from Coffee.
And really, it just takes a few close calls that don't go the way of a pitcher. And it doesn't have to be, oh, there's 25 calls. It could be just a handful that really changes the complexion of an inning and of an entire game.
Absolutely. The pendulum swings very quickly.
Yeah, it really does.
Base hit, Coffee.
Next batter for the Tigers, number 88, Sierra Briggs.
And it's Sierra Briggs. A walk and a strikeout for Sierra tonight. And we've got another pitching change coming. And we'll be back in a second.
The new pitcher for the Huskies is number 4, Brooke Nelson.
Now the new pitcher is Brooke Nelson, who actually started out the ball game playing first base tonight. And the junior from Bonnie Lake, Washington comes on with a couple on and 2 out here in the bottom of the 4th and an 8-run lead. And how about the scout on Brooke?
She's got through with good velocity, really developed her drop ball over the past couple of years. We'll mix in an off speed, rise, curve, and change up.
Batting Sierra Briggs.
So Briggs with a couple on. In for a strike.
It's crazy to look at the scorecard and see that Coffee and Briggs have hit almost every inning, and you look at Washington, it's kind of the same thing. They've only had a few more batters come up to the plate, but Washington has been able to capitalize on their opportunities, and LSU has not.
And that second inning where they left the bases loaded, that definitely hurt them.
Yep. I mean, the score isn't even close, 9-1. But when you look at the scorecard and see how many plate appearances there've been, pretty close.
Yeah, there are 5 left on base for LSU versus just the 2 for Washington because they've plated them.
Oh. There's the 1-2 to Briggs. And that's a base hit. Throw will come into the infield and a run will score to make it 9-2. As Briggs picks up an RBI.
Second off-speed pitch, it just hangs just enough, and Briggs is going to capitalize on it. She's going to go opposite field, nice barrel up on it, and of course Peterson's going to be running.
Peterson was the 9-hitter hit by a pitch, and she comes in to score. And here's Taylor Pleasance. First pitch swinging, pops it up. Nelson calling for it, and she's got it. Side retired.
Run the game this season with Meta, a new game-changing fast-pitch bat from Louisville Slugger. Learn more and customize your favorite bat at slugger.com.
St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational, presented by Wilson, is brought to you by Visit St. Pete Clearwater, Florida, and Wilson Fast Pitch, leaders in softball innovation.
Now the downtown Tampa skyline. And we are across St. Pete Clearwater in a 9-2 Washington lead over LSU as we move to the top of the 5th inning. 6, 7, and 8 are due up for Washington.
Leading off for the Huskies, number 66, Sarah Willis.
Sarah Willis, 0 for 2, a strikeout and a line out to center. Taylor Edwards back out there in the circle for LSU. From Ontario, California, stepping in.
Oh, now it's starting to get a little cool, so there's
A little misty?
Yeah, a little bit of dew out on the grass. The ball goes out.
swings through it, 1-2.
Both of these teams have a lot of options on their pitching staff, deep staffs, and going to be good to be able to get them some innings this weekend. Multiple different pitchers coming in for LSU, multiple different pitchers coming in for Washington.
Oof.
Wow.
Coach is like,
Still got the moves down there.
yeah, bailing
Heather
out of
Char
the way.
does.
She's like, I'll just move to the back of the box into left field.
Scoot on back. She had a busy summer.
Yeah. Is that her natural habitat as well? Was she third base when she played at Washington? Heather Char?
Third catcher, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm checking with Karen Johns. I think that might have been. That's her home turf over there. Got Willis to reach. 1 down.
You can tell Edwards has some good movement.
Next batter for
Gets
the
Willis to
Huskies,
chase
number 19,
well out of the
Jen
zone, but
Cummings.
there's been a couple of swings and misses against her that you can tell are fooling these hitters.
Jen Cummings hit by a pitch and scored in the second and then struck out in the third. Sends that one out to left. 2 down. There she is, third baseman from 94 to 97. Those are sweet pinstripe unis, too.
Next batter for the
Yes, they
Huskies,
are.
number 4, Brooke Nelson.
He was with Teresa Wilson. They got the program cranked up. They were going to the World Series year in and year out. Played for the Natty in 1996. And now pretty much perennial trips to the World Series. And she was on that crew that went for the first time. Knocked down at third by Coffey, and time to make the throw to first. A 1-2-3 inning for Taylor Edwards. We'll chat with Heather Char when we come back.
Visit St. Pete Clearwater is your official source of visitor information. And with so much to do in St. Pete Clearwater, may we suggest your first stop be visit stpeteclearwater.com. Find the inside scoop on beaches, a guide to our arts, restaurants, attractions, and events, all near you. Time to start planning.
Come on, girls. 1 hit at a time. Let's go get it. Hey, quick. 1 hit at a time. Let's go. All right, bud.
You back to the 2022 St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational presented by Wilson. 9-2 Washington with the lead over LSU as we head to the bottom of the 5th. We also welcome in Heather Tarr.
Coach, you guys are just continuing to put pressure on offense and scoring a lot of runs. What are you seeing out of your offense this season so far that has stuck out to you the most?
Just trying to work the process a little bit, make sure we are conscious about where our heads are at and getting good pitches to hit.
And Coach, you have a couple of rookies up the middle defensively. What do you like about them?
Yeah, they're fun. Sometimes with rookies, you don't know what you're going to get yet, and that's what you love about it.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, well, thank you very much, Heather. We appreciate it.
Thanks, you guys.
Leading off for the Tigers,
Huskies
number
with that big
27,
6-run second
Shelby
inning.
Sunseri.
And that's been the difference, the 3-run home run for Bailey Klingler. Sammy Reynolds had a 2-run single in that inning, and Sammy also with a 2-run home run in the 4th. So again, just like they did earlier today against Tennessee, the top 2 in the order just phenomenal. Madison Husky with an RBI triple today. Let's see, that's so for the top 2, Reynolds and Klingler, that's 5 home runs today, 9 runs scored, and 13 runs batted in. Those are supposed to just be your table setters, and they're cleaning the tables and doing the dishes. And
Well, I was going to ask her about them, and then I thought, well, I better not, because, you know, didn't want to
don't believe in the
stir
announcer jinx, do you?
the juju. Yeah.
Okay. Sunseri, Clark, and Stewart due up here for LSU. They got a run back in the 4th. RBI double from Sierra Briggs. Still smarting from that second inning where they left the bases loaded.
Nice changeup.
Yeah, that looked good. And you can tell they kind of had a strategy one time through the order for each of these pitchers. Sarah Willis right now is warming up in the bullpen. Wouldn't be surprised if we get to that 5th inning or 6th inning if we get to see her come in as well.
There is Willis.
Next batter for
Sitting
the
up.
Tigers, number 25.
Good strikeout
Georgia
here
Clark.
of Sunseri.
Well, I love the changeup. That was the setup, right?
That's right. Chasing out of the zone there. A great at batter last at bat. I mean, LSU just has 3 hits. Gotten on with several free passes, but 9 hits for Washington, just 3 hits for LSU.
And the 2 runs that have scored for LSU have been the free passes. So the base on ball to Rudady, and then Peterson with the hit by pitch in the last inning. When it's interesting when you look back at the Olympic Games and the pitchers that threw in the Olympics, and you kind of compare the college, obviously different level of athletes, but those Olympic pitchers, it's about their whip. They do not allow anybody on base. The walks and the hits, specifically more the walks or the free passes, they're just not giving up. They're stingy. And how many times we talk about the free passes here?
Yeah.
And every collegiate coach will talk about the freebie war and say, if we win the freebie war, we're going to win the game.
Wrong every time. You got to turn on it.
I really like the efficiency of Brooke Nelson. She is no nonsense. Give me the ball, let me sling it. We've talked about the versatility. She's played first base. Willis may come into pitch. She's played in the field.
And Kelly Lynch, who was
Kelly
pitching, is
Lynch.
now playing first base.
Off the glove of Holtorf at short.
You know, the coolest part about Holtorf playing shortstop as a freshman is that she has Sis Bates in the dugout to get to look up to and learn from, and if I'm sure it's a role model of hers.
Number 8, Savannah Stewart.
Oh, that one handcuffed her.
Yeah, it did.
Got on her quick.
Hard hit ball.
Scored a single.
There's Sis. We are used to seeing at shortstop.
Last year's Defensive Player of the Year in the Pac-12 and the all-time hits leader at UW.
Pinch running at first, number 9, Madeline.
She even did a little recruiting this summer because of Heather Tarr traveling and also Lance Glasso. She went out on the road.
Heather was with the U.S. team in Tokyo.
Can you imagine if you're a middle infielder? How do you say no to Sis Bates?
I know.
You're like, sign me up.
Even did some at-home visits with Heather, she told us, which, I mean, chat with Sis. I mean, she could chat with anybody, literally. She doesn't know a stranger.
There's Madeline Gilio, the pinch hitter. Excuse me, the pinch runner here with Savannah Stewart up. And that will be over the head of Sammy Reynolds, who is playing in short. Gilio will hold at third and a couple in scoring position.
Savannah Stewart. A lot of different tools. She can stand in and hit, she can slap, and this one she turns it over, she slaps and is just going to punch it over Reynolds' heads, and that's probably the reason why Reynolds was playing in, is because she saw that Stewart was slapping, but a pitch that just is a little bit elevated, and she lifts it out over left fielder's head, Reynolds.
Two on for Rudity. There's a base hit up the middle. One run is in. Here comes another to the plate, and LSU making some noise. Two-run single.
Rudity hitting early in the count. Getting a drop ball in the inside corner, driving it right back up the middle of the field. Beth Tarina sending Savannah Stewart, going to score easily. Potentially looking at the bullpen here.
It's actually LSU that is huddling up right now, the coaching staff, with Morgan Cummins due up. And a 9-4 game.
All of a sudden, you look down and LSU has 6 hits. We were just talking about how they had 3.
Picking up 3 consecutive in this inning.
Looks like Coach Glasso's going to go out there right now, potentially. Yep.
With a glove, so.
Come on, Coach, we like her. We want in there. Come on, Coach. You got the umpire. Give us a picture.
So a pitching change and a glove change for Kelly Lynch. And it looks like Brooke Nelson will stay in at first base. Back in a moment.
Re-entering as pitcher for the Huskies, number 27, Kelly Lynch.
This is now the 7th pitching change for the two clubs tonight. And we're still just in the bottom of the 5th inning, a game that is now 2.5 hours in the making. UW's still bringing the energy. Still early, West Coast.
The players always know where the cameras are these days. They've gotten very used to it.
Well, it was a 9-1 lead, and now LSU starting to ruffle some feathers here.
Third time through the lineup, we saw them do that against Oklahoma State as well, making some adjustments. Even though it's different pitchers, it's you're seeing a lot of the same sort of pitches show up.
And for LSU, what do we got? 5 hits in the last 7 at-bats here? 3 straight hits, including the 2-run single for Mackenzie Rudity. And here is Morgan Cummins. All the action at the bottom of the LSU lineup. Play.
It's a long day for LSU, right? I mean, it was just today that they landed in Florida.
It's been a long, 24, 48 hours for them.
Yes.
You figure they probably practiced before they were supposed to travel.
On Thursday.
We're in class.
Yep.
Yeah, showing great heart here tonight.
And then with the 10:30 start, they'll have to wake up pretty early.
Yes.
Take care of business tonight, too, in terms of getting fed, training room stuff. I'm wondering, Michelle, if we're taking a look at how Washington might approach game 2 of series and throwing the entire staff for the rest of the year, just one time through, and the flexibility that we've mentioned numerous times of the pitchers who can play other positions and hit and not have to leave the game, so they can just move them around and put them in there whenever they want to in the circle.
Yeah, they're going to have to, because the one thing that's tough when you do have that single, like really good arm, like their Gabby playing, is that when you do get the lead in a game 2, do you warm her up, or do you just say committed to resting her because you know she's throwing game 3? So if you've won game 1, those are big and tough decisions, because if it doesn't work right, then you've now used her 3 days in a row if you have to come back and use her in game 3. So it's always a very tough and interesting decision for coaches, trying to use that ace arm when you don't have a lot of, you have to pitch by committee behind her.
Well, and think about how different last year was, too, when the Pac-12 was playing 4-game series, and that 4th game, quote-unquote, didn't matter for the standings, and just trying to navigate that whole process. I mean, last year was just tough schedule-wise for a lot of conferences.
Full count here to Cummins. Well, we've seen the counter punch, too, from opposing coaches. Okay, well, maybe I don't throw my ace game 1 against Gabby Plain. Save her for game 2, and then it's all hands on deck to try and win the series for game 3.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's really not the day of rest, right? Thinking it's easy for pitchers to throw a back-to-back day. It's more just the total amount of pitches, including the bullpen and getting warmed up.
Cummins, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. The hit parade continues. That's the 4th in a row.
4th in a row, and 6 of the last 8 hitters have reached on singles. Just consistency, station to station, getting it done.
Yeah, look at the difference through the first 3 and the last 2. And the pinch hitter here is Raylene Gutierrez in the 9 spot in the lineup.
Number 55, Raylene Gutierrez.
Which is interesting because Sydney Peterson was on base twice in this number 9 spot with a walk and a hit by pitch.
Well, and how about this stat from Karen Johns? 5 of their 7 hits have come with 2 strikes. Just unable to get the put away.
Yeah, a lot of foul balls, too. Just, you know, getting rid of pitches that are close and until the mistake shows up and they take advantage.
That's Carrington Hushmanzada, the pinch runner, now down at first as well. And it quickly goes 0-2 to Gutierrez with the top of the order coming around again. Got her. 2 down.
You know, Michelle, when Lynch gets her strikeouts against left-handed hitters, it's usually with this pitch, just that scries like we talked about before. I think that one was supposed to be more of a screwball. You could tell with how she finished it, but it still had that up movement. Big second out.
Coffey has reached twice with a walk and a single. Out to left. Reynolds is there. Side is retired. A couple more stranded, but a couple more on the board. And a 9-4 ball game through 5.
Score, LSU side.
play. Here's what happened a little earlier today. Megan Faremo delivers, and Maeve Nelson sends it out. A walk-off 3-run home run in extra innings. Shelby Sunseri tattooed one as well. It was a run rule win for LSU over Oklahoma State. And then, oh boy, some follies in extra innings. The Tennessee defense could not get a handle on things. And the Clemson Tigers would slide it off for the W and the celebration. And our final game of the day, 9-4. Washington with the lead over LSU as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Well, the new pitcher for the Tigers is Shelby Sunseri. So we have our 8th pitching change of the night. Kate Calland is now in catching, and Hushmanzada goes to left field.
Leading off for the Huskies, number 3,
for those of you that still have your scorebooks out with us tonight.
My scorecard's a little, I don't know.
There's a lot of erasure going on.
Eraser dust
Also
all
a
over
good,
it.
also a good 80s band, by the way. Thank you very much. Riley Holtorf in the 9 spot in the lineup for Washington here in the top of the 6th. Sunseri, the right-hander, coming on for her 5th appearance of the season. She's got 14 innings of work in, a couple of starts, a couple of relievers.
Yeah, she's one of those ace A, B, or C, experience-wise. So what's the message that Coach Trina is sending to her club, that she's putting one of her best arms in a game that they're down by 5 runs late?
I think they still got a shot with a couple of ABs.
Absolutely.
That's right. And she gets the strikeout.
She can throw a little bit of everything, Michelle, but I really have always liked her drop ball to be her out pitch, whether it's a strikeout pitch or just a ground ball out that she can feed to her infield. Can mix speeds really well. That Trina said that was a really big focus for her in the off season. Something she does well with her changeup, but wanted to change speeds even more. Try to get that 5th and 6th and 7th speed.
Top of the order, it's Sammy Reynolds.
You sound like a transmission. Sunseri, she'll be in that mid-60 range, and that drop and change-up, Amanda, that you spoke about. It's really her go-to. She's been focusing on all the abilities to mix speeds, mix spots within the zone.
(2-1).
She had an older sister who was a pitcher. And so from the time that she started walking, Shelby said last year at Super Regionals that she just watched her and wanted to be like her. She just picked it up because she had an older sister who was doing it.
It was a good decision.
Very good. Yeah, that paid off, huh? And she's known for her ability to hit the ball too. And she said, when she was getting recruited, that was the first question that she asked of every visit: can I hit? Many coaches won't let you do both, but Coach Trina was willing to give her that shot.
Out to right. Rodity's got it, 2 down. Here comes Bailey Klingler. Good showdown right here between she and Sunseri. for 3, that one being the 3-run home run in the second. Her 3rd of the day in their 2 games.
That load in her bottom half, Michelle, and just unleashed on that pitch. What a day for her. 3 home runs in 1 day.
It's a nice little Friday right there.
It is.
You know, when you're an athlete, you always, if you're struggling a little bit or you want to feel good, you always pick those days you go back to. I think this might be one of hers.
Yeah.
Like, remember that day in Clearwater?
Well, and Washington's picking up their frequent flyer miles, too, going from Washington down to Mexico and then back to Washington and then here to Florida. I mean, they're covering North America.
That's right.
Well, life in the Pacific Northwest, most years, they don't have but 10 or 15 home games.
And the importance of playing that really good competition early. That the RPI matters, the committee is looking at how you schedule.
Because then next weekend, they'll go to Palm Springs. And the weekend after that, they're on the road again to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
They're covering multiple different states.
Little dribbler off the end of the bat, and she'll be there. 2-out base runner for the Huskies.
Sinceri getting off the mound quickly, and the throw down, I think that probably should have been caught. I think Georgia Clark is probably upset with herself. They're going to give that an E3.
Heather Tarr going to go to the bench here. No. There's Olivia Johnson.
Next batter for the Huskies, number 11.
You know, it shocked me when Heather
Johnson.
Tarr said that Bailey Klingler is actually the 3rd fastest person on the team. She's gotten stronger and faster since she's been at Washington.
Johnson singled in the 4th. Her pinch runner Alchin scored on the RBI triple from Madison Husky. Sinceri keeps working in on her hands.
That's the corner all day that's been a little stingy. A lot of the pitchers have been trying to keep throwing there, thinking eventually the strike will show up.
Well, I'm just putting 2 and 2 together, Beth. We talked about Auburn and their freshman Bree Ellis, who's hit so many home runs already, I think 4. Her and Olivia Johnson played on the same travel team, Impact Gold. So these 2 home run hitters that are making a splash were on the exact same travel team last year.
That's in for a strike, 3-2.
That's a nice pitch, 53 miles an hour, slightly elevated. She can dump that down at the knees instead of at the waist. I think that pitch disappears under a lot of bats this year.
Ball 4.
And to think, Michelle, again, going back to the tight strike zone, to think that there was a call in that at bat that could have gone either way, and pitcher not getting the call, ends up walking, inning extended.
Madison Husky. Strike 1 and 2. That's Klingler out at second. Olivia Johnson at first. And right to Pleasance at short side, retired. 9-4, UW on top.
If someone comes along and stands in your way, then we know just what to say. Do your thing, just do your thing. So do your thing. Do your thing, just do your thing. So do your thing.
Well, we'll be doing our thing Sunday night, 7 Eastern on ESPN Prime Time. From St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational, presented by Wilson with Florida State and UCLA. Game will be on ESPN. We'll move to the bottom of the 6th. Washington with the 9-4 lead over LSU. Sierra Briggs, it's 2-3-4. LSU has stranded 9 base runners tonight. They've had multiple opportunities to work their way back into this thing. They've got a couple more at-bats to work with here. This may be the time with the heart of the order coming up. Strike on the corner, 3-1.
It's interesting that, now granted, I played ages ago, but typically it was a game where the top of the lineup had 3 at-bats, and maybe the bottom of the lineup may have only had 2 at-bats. You look at your scorecard nowadays, the majority of the batters, they're having 4 and 5 at-bats in a 7-inning game. Just
4th time here for Briggs. She'll drop down the bunt. Good coverage by Klingler to get her. One down.
Next batter for the Tigers, number 17, Taylor Pleasance.
One more chance for Pleasance. 0 for 2, hit by a pitch. She was 0 for 4 in the Oklahoma State game this afternoon.
In her second at bat, she drove that ball deep to the fence and trying to see if she has some momentum. But to me, that right there tells you what she's struggling with. She's not identifying the pitch. So that changeup, she was completely fooled on it.
And sometimes as a hitter, Michelle, then you just start to guess or tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to go up there, I'm going to swing at the first pitch no matter what. And that's how you can really tell when Lynch threw that changeup that she had that mentality.
And that's the ironic part of hitting fast pitch softball. You have to wait. You have to let the ball approach you.
And Pleasance finally breaks through and gets the base hit.
There she goes.
Next batter for the Tigers, number
It's a
27,
rise ball
Shelby
and a
Sinceri.
little bit more out over the plate. Actually gets the top of it. Third hit of the season.
There's the smile. Here comes Sunseri, followed by Clark.
Educated, Jess. Come on, Shelby.
Two and 0. Three and 0. Taken all the way, 3 and 1.
It's crazy to think at one point we had 4 games at one time going on today, and now it's just us. We're just out the field by ourselves.
This was also a 9-1 game, and it was almost over in the 5th inning. And LSU has just been hanging around, and now they've got 2 on for Georgia Clark.
Next batter for the Tigers, number 25, Georgia Clark.
No activity in the Washington bullpen.
It's because their other pitcher who was pitching is in center field.
Is in center field, and the other pitcher that was pitching is at first base.
Yeah, at first base, exactly.
And who started again? It
Pat
was
Moore.
so long ago. Pat Moore is, yeah. So this is Kennedy Hushmanzada who will come on to run for Sunseri.
This has been the field for 3-run home runs and pitching changes. Remember, it started today with
Yes.
Northwestern and Texas Tech. They had 8 pitching changes. And then how many have we had? 9? 8?
I think we've had 8.
8, okay.
Yeah. Sunseri, of course, can re-enter, and in all likelihood would be pitching in the 7th. Question is, what would the score be at that point? Clark singled, scored in the 5th. Georgia hit 3 home runs for LSU last weekend. Lynch drinks it in for a strike, 1-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. High drive, back to the track at the base of the wall, and it's caught by Reynolds. Runners will tag, just barely stayed in the house.
Sammy Reynolds has been tested so much in this game. She's been diving forward, she's been going back, ball has been hit over her head, now she's all the way at the wall.
Next batter for
Just
the Tigers,
continuing to
number
get
8, Savannah
challenged to
Stewart.
cover a lot of the ground out there in left field, but she finds the warning track, has her hand out, but it's her back actually that hits the wall before her hand does, and she just falls into it, but able to secure a catch. I thought that was barely going to get out of here.
Yeah, very close.
Savannah Stewart with a couple in scoring position.
And it's cooled down, and the air is a little heavy. Makes you wonder if it had been earlier in the day, would that have left the yard?
Yeah. That swing and then the pleasant swing. That just, they had some on it, but just not enough.
Just under it.
Stewart to second. They'll get the out at first. Side retired. Couple stranded. That's been the story for LSU, the Lobs tonight. Well, Sammy Reynolds with a nice catch up against the fence out in left. Doing it with her glove today, swinging a good bat today, and apparently fighting with a bat today. All in a day's work for Sammy. Oh, there's a great shot. The glow off the moon. As we head to the 7th and a 9-4 Washington lead over LSU. Huskies, Bailey Klingler with a 3-run home run, Sammy Reynolds with a 2-run home run. Husky and Brooke Nelson with good swings. They are looking to cap off a productive day against the Southeastern Conference. They are already the proud owners of an 11-0 run rule win over Tennessee this afternoon. They already have the 2 wins from last week over Arkansas. Looking to get to 4-0 against the Southeastern Conference. Out to center, 1 down.
Love to have seen, you know, a healthy Ashley Rogers pitch against them and Allie Kilponen get the start against them instead of Oklahoma State. Shelby Sinceri get the start against them. You know, facing one of the aces, they just haven't had to face that today. Ashley Rogers unavailable for the rest of the weekend. And then Kilponen pitched that run roll win earlier today.
There's Sarah Willis 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts and that hard liner out to center.
You know, one thing I think to follow, Beth and Michelle, is and the teams that don't have that co-ace or 1A and 1B, a team like Washington or a team like UCLA or just other teams out there that we're not talking about quite yet. I can't wait to see the pitcher that does step up, who becomes the co-ace, who actually grabs the bull by the horns and takes that role instead of just leaning on the pitch by committee. Like, who's going to be that next impact pitcher to do that?
I'm sure every coach is thinking the same thing.
Wondering the same thing. Be me, be me.
Well, and Sarah Willis, I mean, she's one that's potentially capable of it.
Yeah.
She was warming up earlier in the game.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Chop to third. Coffee, 2 down.
Next batter for the Huskies, number 19, Jen Cummings.
Jen Cummings, 0 for 2, hit by a pitch. Huskies got 6 in the second and 3 more in the fourth. Goes the other way with it and drifting foul.
Getting the uni dirty.
There's a shot towards the gap. All the way back to the base of the wall for Jen Cummings in the stand-up double.
Cummings is just going to take advantage of a changeup that's elevated. Doesn't get down in the zone, waits on it, barrels it up.
Next batter for the Huskies, number 4, Brooke
Oppo
Nelson.
foul, changeup up. And that's a good pitch for Shelby Sinceri. She just needs to locate it lower. We've seen a couple of them up in the zone, and that one, Washington climbs all over. Cummings bashes it to the wall.
Megan Van de Gerft is the pinch runner out at second. And here's Brooke Nelson. RBI double back in that second inning. Shallow center and diving grab out on the grass made by Peterson. Saved a run there. To the bottom of the seventh we go. The last chance for LSU. A quick pan of the old scoreboard. Washington with that big 6-run second inning. They lead it 9-4, and they are 3 outs away from a win. Last chance here for LSU to get something going. The 9th pitching change of the game for the two sides, as Sarah Willis will come on to hurl.
Number 4, Mackenzie Roderday.
Next thing you know, Michelle and I are going to be down there. All these pitching changes.
Let's see, Lynch moves to first, Egan moves to center, and Husky moves to right. All the changes for those of you with your scorebooks at home. 7, 8, and 9 are due up. For Sarah Willis, 4th appearance in the circle, all in relief. She's thrown 4 1/3 innings this season. One out of Mackenzie Roderday.
Willows heating it up. Yeah, 68 miles an hour.
She throws with good velocity, and then she has that good changeup. Right now in the season, if you've given up any runs and you've only thrown 4 innings, your ERA is going to be a little high. I've seen some pretty inflated ERAs this weekend because not a lot of innings to work with.
2 1s fouled off.
Hit 70 miles an hour right there, Sarah Willis did.
Bringing some heat here in the 7th.
Yeah, she brings some energy too. You can just tell there's a different feel in the circle when she's in there.
Well, there are definitely options for Heather Char. It's just a matter of the consistency after Gabby Plain.
Here's that changeup. Okay, so from 70 to 44, 26 miles an hour difference.
That is some good stuff right there.
Buckle your knees, right? No cheating. You'll get caught, right?
Two-two to Ruderty. Full count to McKenzie. Lost her.
I'm sure the conversation is strikes and outs.
Strikes.
Throw strikes. Okay.
Efficiency.
We have a 5-run limit.
Strikes and outs. Strikes and outs. Doesn't matter which out, just get an out. Normally we're like, get the lead out, but this one, just outs.
Just
And
right
strikes.
there.
Batting for the Tigers, number 84, Carrington Hushmanzada.
Carrington Hushmanzada is the batter. We got a little handiwork right here.
You got it.
Trying to show off for the crowd there.
Some good acting.
It's like pretending like, hey, look at this catch I made. You're like, it's the wrong one. The old switcheroo.
Got her. One down.
Knee buckling. You could see it. Man.
Flip change, too.
Those are almost not fair, right?
Just floats in there.
There's Peterson.
Batting for the Tigers, number 1, Sidney Peterson.
Base hit through the left side.
Turns over the order now, too. Danica Coffey coming back up for her 5th at bat. Michelle, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Next batter for the Tigers, number 13, Danica Coffey.
A strikeout, a walk, a single, and then a fly out to left for Coffey tonight. Tigers trying to pass the bat here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Need a 5-run rally or better.
I think there was an illegal pitch.
Illegal pitch called.
It's called by the first base umpire, too, so.
Responds with a strike.
Doesn't look to me like her foot comes close to off the her drag foot comes close to being in the air, lifting off the ground.
Yeah, she slides a little bit. So the question was if maybe her foot was
Sliding
she stepped forward. Yeah.
One and two. Struck her out. 2 down.
Nice energy, good location.
Next batter for the Tigers, number 88, Sierra Briggs.
All right, last chance now is Sierra Briggs. That's in for a strike.
And she keeps that 68 on the knees on the outside corner. That's tough to hit.
Missed that one away, 1-1. Grounder to short, and the short way to second for the final out. Nine to 4, the final. Washington a winner over LSU.
The final score of tonight's game is Huskies 9.
Join us tomorrow morning as we continue our coverage from the St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational, number 3 UCLA and number 25 Auburn at 10:30 Eastern on ESPNU. I'm Beth Bowens with Michelle Smith, Amanda Scarborough for our entire crew. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back.